Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. This is Abhishek, your host for the day. I'm the founder and CEO of Accelarize Networks. And today is a great day, like in the history of Accelarize Networks, because today we're going to be, coming up with some of the best people from the globe, right? Those who are actually working in different domains, helping different entrepreneurs, touching lives to make some betterment in their life itself. So today, first of all, I would like to, call upon on the stage, right, Mr. Sandeep Nath. Sandeep is founder and CEO of Renewalism. He's been working in the industry from last 15, 20 years. Hi, Sandeep. Good afternoon. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, good evening, wherever in the world you are. Lovely to be here with Accelarize. Thank you.
Great. So, Sandeep, can you brief the audience out here about what is renewalism out all about? Obviously, we are going to talk more about that, but I just want you to, give a brief to the audience.
Thank you, Abhishek. Well, 2020, in my mind, has been a year not of chaos and crisis as most people would like to believe, but as a year of renewal. Renewal of, family, renewal of the environment, renewal of caring for each other, renewal of relooking at the man-made systems that have stopped serving us, and all of that. And I tie this in with a book called Renewal, which was guided to me during the course of December, January 1920. And that's a book about the renewal of human consciousness. I found that by March, when the lockdowns had started in a big way, the habits that were recommended by this channeling process were being adopted or being forced upon us to be adopted, like being mindful of the sanitizers and being mindful of masks and things like that. And I said that this is amazing that there are habits that have been captured in renewal, which are being forced upon people. Let people understand through the reading of renewal and by becoming renewalists and starting a renewalism movement how the new normal can be all about renewal. So that's the long and short of renewal and renewalism.
Right, that's great. Obviously, I think our attendees and the listeners out there, because we are streaming live on YouTube, gonna really enjoy your thoughts today. Now, the second panelist, basically, we have invited all the way from Dubai. She's Zing. Zing is a founder and CEO of Paramount Shift, and I personally attended a lot of sessions with Zing, and she's a really energetic and enthusiastic person, I would say, who is actually helping emerging entrepreneurs to understand the real meaning of life, and the details like which Zing used to tell the people, and I was really amazed that these are the smaller things. Somebody can be so creative who can emerge something from a small things out there. So welcome, Zing. Welcome to Accelarize Networks.
Thank you so much, Abhi. And really, truly, it's a joy and a blessing to be here. And I'm so honored and really privileged to be on the stage and sharing what I got and what I know and what I really want to share. And I really love what Sandeep said, renewal of this, because, what I stand for is a new world, right? So the new normal for me is the new world. We are living the old one, right? Pandemic is the separation. So we are entering the new world. And in this new world, it's literally a world of abundance and we can have it all. And I found the access. This is the part which I want to share with everyone, right? That one thing can really make it change everything for you, right, in the world. So this is something that I'm really excited today to share. And yeah, just wait for a little bit and share more because my company, I call it Paramount Shift. So Paramount Shift literally means the most important shift If you have this one shift, right, literally the perception, because everything is perception, right? You just shift over here and you leave the old world and you enter the new world, because whatever you think, it changes and shapes your reality. So this is how cool it is. So I'm really excited. Thank you so much and looking forward to it. Sharing
Great.
more. Thank you.
Likewise, Zing, and thanks again to be over here on the panel. And the fourth panelist out here, like I would say the third panelist out here is all the way from Australia. Her name is Ashika Kumar, and she is the founder and CEO of Best Life No Limits. So, and at the same time, she's the lawyer as well, and obviously helping few lives out there to understand the real meaning of life itself. Welcome, Ashika.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for the opportunity, Abhi. It's great to be here, and I agree with Sandeep and Jing that this, you know, so many with everything that's happened, the new normal is basically recognizing really where you want to be and where you want to go. I found that this over the last 12 months with everything that's happened, it actually gave me more direction and more clarity on what I wanted to do with my company and everything. We help everybody in terms of if they're stuck in their life or in their businesses to create the shifts, just like Jin said, in order to live your absolute best life. But I specialize in helping people who have overcome trauma and domestic violence and things like that to completely rebuild their life after my own personal experiences and whatnot. I'm also a retailer for Amazon, so definitely, building my brands and learning new things has been really exciting, but also challenging at the same time. And yeah, thank you for this opportunity. It's great to be here.
Great. Once again, I will thank all the attendees out here, and I would request, like, if you have any questions regarding life, regarding your business, and regarding your mental health, because we have, some of the best coaches out there from the globe, like whom you can ask, like your problems, like your business problems, your life problems, and any kind of problem. So if something is there, you can put in the chat box, and like our panelists would be more than happy to answer that out there. So let's start the session for today, and we will start with the topic, like things which is actually important for your business, right? And we have an agenda for today. Like, first of all, we will be calling up Zing, right? And she will be speaking on one thing that changes everything for a founder. So whosoever is the founder, those who are listening out here, they need to be very careful that what are the inputs has been given by Zing itself. And I believe all of you would really enjoy the inputs out there. And once Zing will finish her presentation, we're going to be dropping in the panel discussion as well with other panelists. So over to you, Zing.
Yeah, I got a little bit of noise in the background, but it will pass. Sorry,
Yeah.
everyone. Yeah,
Yeah.
so what you said about this, the one thing that can change everything, it's not only for the entrepreneurs, the founders, and the CEOs, right? I will share why I actually started this, my own business, because I really truly see all of you for being who you are. You guys are the heroes. Seriously, whoever is really starting to taking this as a responsibility, because for the entrepreneurs, what I discovered when I shifted and I started my own company, I discovered it's not the politicians or other people saving the world. It's actually the entrepreneurs. So I was really like, wow. And I wanted to be one of them, because for the longest time I had been asking myself the question, what makes the difference and how do I best serve humanity? Right? So, and this just came at the right place, right? The shift happened. And then I found this name, Paramount Shift, because I want to find the root cause. I want to find that, that one thing that can change everything. We don't need to go like firefighting all the time and doing all sorts of things and so much effort and so little result, right? So I want to find that, we don't need, we only need a little bit of effort, but we have everything. That's the beauty of what life is. It's so much more available, and I'm so passionate about finding that and finding that the root cause, finding that key, so that we can really live and enjoy the life that we all deserve, right? So this is actually for everyone, that one thing, but especially for the entrepreneurs or people who are thinking to become an entrepreneur, and or whatever that may be in the pipeline in the future, or even maybe you're not thinking about it. So what I'll do is that I will share my screen, and I got a little presentation prepared for today. Okay. All right. So I think you can see my screen, right, everyone?
Yeah, if you are seeing Zing's screen, you can write down yes out there in the chat box,
Yes,
or
please.
you can react with thumbs up emoji.
Awesome. Yeah. So Abby, could you please moderate over there and then check the chat box? If anything, you let me know. Okay.
Great, good to go.
Awesome. Awesome. So I'm gonna start my presentation here. So why we are here, right? Even today, because you see, the first question we ask ourselves: why do we even want to become entrepreneurs? What is that? The final thing that we want in life, right? So if you really look at it, something about along the lines of these categories, right? So what I want to share with you today is I want to share with you 3 simple steps, because when we have clarity, we will be able to really do things in a way that makes a huge difference, right? The most amount of difference. So I want to show you the 3 steps. When we talk about glass ceiling, which we'll share a little bit more, this glass ceiling is literally killing all of us, right? Especially for the entrepreneurs. So what I truly believe is that you deserve, and we all deserve to live a life that we can truly have it all. And this is what I'm living, right? So I want to have perfect health, and I want to have amazing relationships and love and relationships. Most important of all, money, time, and freedom, right? Money, time, freedom is truly something that makes a huge difference for me, right? So I'm sure you all agree with that. If in case you are thinking about, I need to work so hard to make the money, well, that's the one kind of belief, right? So today, what I really want to share with you is the best of what I know, okay? And what I invite you to do is to literally put everything that you have learned or, accumulated, all the knowledge and stuff in the brackets aside. And because, this session is for you, I want you to get the best out of it, right? So if you're sitting there thinking, oh, no, I don't agree with that, I'm arguing with this, then you're losing the time to really getting the best out of for you, right? So for today, what I really want to share with you is I would call it the best of, what I found. Okay. So it's really interesting and thrilling. So, and, all of you are on this journey. We are together on this journey, right? So my interest is to really support you. And so I'll show you by offering something. Okay, so I want to give you a gift. So if you stay to the end, right, and you will get a link. This is my schedule link. You can literally schedule a one-on-one session with me. This is a coaching session which I, usually charge $500 for, but I'm offering here for free because, you guys showed up. Okay, I want to offer you something to really thank you and acknowledge you for being on this journey and with me, okay, being my partner. So awesome. Thank you so much. And let's start. So what we're here for, right? More money, better relationships, better health and fitness. Yeah. But what happened to most of us is that we are trading our time. We're putting so much effort and we are, making probably, a little bit of result. and or we listen to seminars, we do books, we just study, accumulate all the skills, all the strategies, and just like learning more, right? But the thing about this is that knowing doesn't make the difference. How many of you know how to lose weight? But how many can actually lose weight? Right? Just think about it. So what is really happening after all of that, especially for me, right? I'm a rapid transformation therapist, and my job and what I focus on is to finding the most, right? So I go out and I really explored and I studied all of that, but only to find out, yes, at the time when I studied, oh, I was so excited, but afterwards, it all just dwindled. All the excitement, all the progress just dwindled, right? So what I discovered, what happened to me when I found out about this is what makes the difference? There's a question when asked, right? So that led me to where I am today, right? So what I really want is find out that shortest route. And what is that shortest route? Is go to the root cause, right? If we go to the root cause, that's it. Everything's taken care of, right? We will have we will have that incredible life that we want to live, money and time freedom. That's the key. So that really prompted me starting my company called Paramount Shift, because this is also going to the root cause. What makes the difference is me coming out being a leader and really doing something and share what I know, right? So, this is the path which I am supporting. I want exponential growth, right? This three-step system, which I will be sharing with you, will really support this exponential growth, where you just jump, you fly, you leap, you don't just crawl or walk, right? So this is the part. This is like literally my life, which I'll share a little bit about that with you in a bit. So this is the glass ceiling which I was talking about, right? So this glass ceiling is the limiting beliefs or limiting beliefs that we have. Oh, I'm not good enough. I don't deserve. You know what? I was deeply entrenched in this. Why? Look at this. This is me. I'm one of the second, like the middle child, right? The second daughter of this farmer's family. This is my grandmother in the background. And so she was literally the person who, you know, gave me all of these glass ceiling kind of beliefs, right? Because the moment I was born, they didn't want me because I was a girl. Oh, I'm not good enough, right? And I don't deserve, because she criticized me all the time because she didn't want me in the family. I was not a boy, right? But these are the things that the glass ceiling is kind of like the weeds. If we're talking about our life as a garden, right? We have this garden life and we have weeds in there. So the weeds are this, right? I'm not good enough. I don't deserve, or I need to please people, right? And then, this is the glass ceiling, right? So, you know what? If we imagine, because I'm going to use some analogies to help you understand first before I share, right? So this will make the most difference. If you can imagine, right, this is the garden, right, filled with weeds. This is one scenario, right? Most people are actually doing this in the world. And then, they have some dreams and desires that they want to sow in, grow something, right? So this is what they're sowing. And then sow the seeds, right? And then, what happened? If you sow the seeds in the garden like that, filled with weeds, of course, this is, your result, right? The result is like, it's just a failure. We will get really little, poor harvest. But if we take the right steps, let's see another scenario. Okay, so now what happens, right? In a garden filled with weeds, what we're going to do is dig out the roots of the weeds. Not only cutting them down from the ground above, okay, just not only just cutting the leaves. We're going to dig out the roots. So we're going to, do it once for all, right? So then we prepare the soil, right? So, and then you sow the seeds and ensure there's a bountiful harvest. right? So this is a recipe for success, right? So this is something that we will be doing. So because I'm from a farm, so I like to use farming analogies. So what is the key to the shortest route to your dream? Really, what is the key is to dig out the roots of the weeds first. And if you don't take care of that, you will always be doing more and getting less because you constantly need to come back. So for example, over here, how many of you can relate to this, right? Growing up, some parents or some people in your life, teachers, or even siblings, right? They say something to you like you don't deserve. For example, you did something wrong. Like many of my clients, growing up, they did something wrong. Their parents told them you don't deserve it. The parents, of course, didn't mean that, right? But and then they get into food, and then this is deeply programmed into their life, right? Into the subconscious mind. It's in everything, not only in the work, in the money matters. It's in love relationships. It's in everything, right? So see, this is a client from U.S. Her name is Caroline, right? So how she transformed after she had the session with me using these three simple steps. She got the $1 million project because she was looking for investors, right? And then she got into the startup incubators, and then she found her new team, like completely new founders, co-founders, and then build a new team, and then really, really wonderful, right? So what is her story? She was almost broke, and before she came to me, she had to move back with her parents. But when she realized, wow, why can't I just get that money from the investors that help her grow her business? So when she was in the session and discovered what was stopping her, the root, right, the root of her weeds in the life of her garden was something about those limiting beliefs we just talked about, right? But the truth about that is you don't see. We don't see. It's in the subconscious mind. It's in our blind spot, right? Once she saw that and she realized that, we cleared that, and that's what her results was, right? So, just to give you a little bit about, the background of me, this is me, okay? This was my reality not too many years ago. I was herding sheep and goats, and look at what I am now. So if I can do it, you can too. I just wanted to give you a little bit of encouragement and just really, truly feel good about it. We're onto something good. Okay, I found the path. I'll share with you. Okay, so here is the 3-step rapid transformation system. So the first step, what we do is identify and clear. So this is a very important. If you don't identify and clear what is really holding you back, the root cause, right? And then it won't make a difference. And then what we do, we can upgrade your belief system. I mean, just really, truly, this is a very important one, right? This is something people are familiar with. And then the third one is that we reprogram your subconscious mind. That's the part which really make the difference, right? So what does it mean over here? Related to the analogy, the first part is clear, the second part is prepare the soil, and then sow the seed. So just to give you a quick kind of idea of how incredibly powerful this is. Okay, these are the people from around the world, right? And their life was suffering before, honestly speaking. Like Bob was literally suffering so much, and her girlfriend was pregnant, and then they were like together saying, what, we got to do something about this, because when you have those conversations in your head, it drives you crazy. Your life is not working. Okay, so this is another one, Kate from UK. The same thing with her case. She was dealing with pain, but it doesn't matter what it is, right? So remember I was sharing with you, once you find the root cause, anything can be dealt with. Physical pain, this is what her case, weight, and then also even reverse the diabetes, So all of this is possible, right? So this is, of course, the fear, right? Fear of failure. This is a huge one, but she wants to really go to the next level, but it's just always stopping her. And see, these are what's possible, right? But how, right? Remember, I was talking about the conscious and the subconscious. So the conscious mind is like this, right? If you see, I can say that all the pictures are self-explanatory. You can see what we are doing now, being awake, talking, learning, logic. It's only about 5% of our mind or less, right? Look at that, 95% of your who you are, what you do, what your likes and dislikes is subconscious mind. Can you imagine, right? The most of the time, because your subconscious mind, you are on autopilot. So that's why sometimes you don't know why you're feeling this way, why you are just couldn't control your legs moving to the kitchen and then opening the fridge and digging out eating the whole tub of ice cream. That's why, right? It's because we are literally run by our subconscious mind, and we don't know what's in there that's stopping us, right? The limiting beliefs are hidden from us. So once we have all of that, right, what does act like? All those limiting beliefs in our subconscious mind that we have no idea about, no awareness, they are like thermostat, right? Or they're like a blueprint. So, or some people would say a set point. Whichever you can relate to in your life, if you have this set to this level, can you go over that? You can't, right? You only follow what you set over there, right? See how incredible powerful this is, right? But the good thing is that, we understand. So here I want to share with you some another analogy. I'm sure you all heard of the lottery winners. Lottery winners, they win a lot of money, but a few years down the road, they come back right to where they are. They broke or whatever they're going to be. So this is the broke mindset, right? So there's also another one, another side of the coin, right? When people having the billionaire mindset, this is Donald Trump, and no, I mean, not to be political or anything here, just to use this as a representation. He lost everything back then, and then in 2 years, he got everything back. That's because he had the mindset, right? The mindset was for the billionaire. So his blueprint was for the billionaire. So it doesn't matter what circumstance. So this is again to share with you, even whatever the circumstance, doesn't mean anything. What you think, your mindset is everything, right? So this is what we're talking about here. Your thoughts are things. It is science. I'll show you, right? Why it's science? Have you ever heard of this Dr. Masaru Emoto? He did the experiment on water, and this is hugely popular, right? It really changed a lot of people. It made a huge difference in terms of how we understand ourselves, right? So the water has the hidden messages. So let's look at it here. Can you see the screen of all the pictures? See the messages underneath, right? Can you relate to yourself? Some of the messages you probably used yourself, right? Each time when you say these words, this is what's going on with the water, okay? So just take a look, have a look. It's truly amazing, okay? If you, yeah, you can definitely look into it and do more research about that if you don't know. So this is what happened with the prayer. Of course, prayer is wonderful, right? So this is before the prayer. You see the polluted water looks ugly, actually disgusting. And then on the right side is after the prayer. This is what happens. The power of our thoughts literally changes physical matter, right? You can see. So, they wanted to know, Dr. Masaru wanted to know how far this can go. So they assembled 10,000 Japanese and they did the praying, right? So what they did over this period, they accumulated, actually, they got the water samples from around the world, across the globe, right? This is in Japan, this is in US. And you know what happened? The result is the same. Before and after, it was just night and day. Incredible difference, right? So this means your thoughts are so powerful, it doesn't matter where you are. It influences and affects the whole world. That's why I'm here so excited and so passionate about sharing what makes the difference, because I want you to vibrate higher, because you vibrate higher, you change everything. Your family, your community, and your society, the whole world. We're all in together, right? So when we talk about water, so what does it mean water, to us as human beings, right? Can you see how incredibly it is? We are water, right? We're essentially water. So again, what does this tell us about the success? When you are being an entrepreneur, right, what anything you want to do in life, right? If you think, oh, I'm not gonna, my product is not gonna be a good one. They will not like it. No one will want to buy it. Oh, they will not want to pay this price. And literally anything and everything you think, you are paving the highway. You're paving the highway for your future. That's the power. That's what happens. Okay, so be aware what's going on here, right? Your thoughts, literally. Yeah, I can't see the screen, but I want you, if you can follow. I'm gonna explain as detailed as possible. I just want to do a quick exercise with you. This following exercise can really change how you see things forever, right? So let's do this, okay? I want everyone to align both of your hands together, just like in the first picture, and then align it with the first line, the line which in the second picture shows you. We all have that, okay? When you align with this line together, both of your hands, everybody has that. And then you will see, usually you will see the little finger, right? One is longer than the other. So I want you to check. Okay? So if yours, one is shorter than the other, I want you to take that hand in front of you. If you have the same length, you just take whichever hand, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to tell this hand 8 times, grow longer, okay? So everybody together, are you ready? We're going to do this together, okay? So hold the hand with the shorter little finger, or whatever, the same one if you don't find the shorter one, okay? So we're going to do this now. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Grow longer, 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 grow longer. That's it. Okay, stop. So now I want you to line up it again, okay? Line them up again. And see what you discover. If you're like everyone, if you're like normal, okay, most people will see that shorter hand, the low finger, literally grew longer just in that short time. This is science, by the way, okay? So this is not something like weird or voodoo. And they did the research on this, and then this is something that's blown everyone away. So what does it mean? What means is that really, truly, the power of intention, the power of minds controls everything, even physical matter. This is all throughout the universe, right? This is just something I shared with you to show you, we do have that power. So this is like literally waking you up to who you are, right? Awesome. So it all started here, right? Remember, I was about 10 years old herding sheep. There was one day I was out with my sheep in the fields, and I looked up, and there was this, I heard this booming noise first, and then I looked up, and there was this huge airplane in the sky, right? And I was from a small farm village, and there was nothing, but I kind of like vaguely know it was an airplane. I was so mesmerized, and the airplane flew really low that day particularly, and I saw it, was like, wow. And I instinctively said to myself, you know what, one of the days I will be on an airplane like that, traveling around the world, making a difference, and wherever I go. So this is how it got started. This is what I want to do. And, again, how I started my journey. I, of course, studied hard and, doing all of that stuff. This is my family, my parents, and then 3 siblings. And when I remember when I sent that message, I wanted to travel around the world. It's kind of like sending out an email that my intention was out, right? Whoever wants to play, they will play. They will come. So this is what happened. So when I was in university, my ex-boyfriend flew all the way from Canada. No, I mean, he was not my ex then, but he flew all the way, and then he came, and we became a couple, right? So then I started my journey together with him. So this is how everything incredible, because I didn't know how I can make that happen, but he came and we made it together. So we were traveling around the world. We were in Cambodia, and this is how my transformation happened. And when I realized all of that, and then I took on taking care of my body as my temple, right? Eating the right food, doing all the cleansing. I did water fast, and then what I really got to is this quantum physics, which is really ruling everything. All the principles, everything here is backed up by quantum physics. I had the spiritual awakening back then, right? So what I really see, and I hope you saw also from what you participated, truly we are just frequencies. We are frequencies and vibrations made up with our thoughts and beliefs. Whatever you think, whatever you believe, that's you. That's how you're gonna attract, right? So this is the power also. So we attract what we are. This is the law of attraction, right? You probably heard of that. But you see, for me, my story, my life, being who I am today, traveling wherever I go, wherever I want, and making a difference, and enjoying my life, and living, the life that I'm having it all. But it was not always like that. I experienced a lot of hardships, right, growing up, and also even later on. So this is coming back to the lottery winner as well. So what happened to me? Back in 2008, we came luckily. We're so lucky to have this inheritance, right? Huge inheritance. But because my belief system was not backed up by the high whatever we say that's going to work for us. So this is what happened. We just blew it away. Like, can you imagine, right? That's the childhood programming. But I didn't know that back then. It was so sad. I was sitting at this place, uh, couldn't pay rent, and I was eating only, the ramen noodles, packaged noodles, if you know them. That's the only thing we can afford. It was horrible, right? It was just like, So what happened, all of this is that realized, what? Money is not the issue. We can have a lot of money, but it still doesn't make the difference. This is a huge, right, for our entrepreneurs. So now I want to challenge you to really think outside the box. So then what happened, I took on align myself with the best in the world. So it's over a decade of search, took on this journey and with all the best in the world, and then just really getting what is the thing, right? The one thing. So all these amazing mentors in my life, and what I discovered, you know what? They all tell me one thing: I am the answer. So I'm coming back right here where I am, right? So this is what I want to tell you as well. So I am the answer. You are the answer too. So growing up, it was so limited and also criticized a lot. So selling or talking to people and sharing with others is a huge issue, right? Huge challenge. But when I break through, when I shifted myself, I realized is that this is my mission and responsibility to sell what I know, to be who I am, and to embody that I am worthy, and to be able to charge people. Because also what I realized, other people's bigger and better future is in my hand. If I don't do that, how can I make a difference, right? This is a huge revelation. I'm sure many of you also having this kind of issue about selling or getting out there or sharing, right? So, if you can relate to that, great, right? So we're going to move on about this commitment. And for me, everything I'm doing, I'm committed to solving the big problems. I'm committed to solving what really matters in this world. So as an entrepreneur, I know you are too, right? So that's why I can identify with you. So my question always is, how can I make the most difference to most people, right? We can have it all. So this is what I'm doing, is to support leaders. You all leaders in this world, by being who you are. And then in turn, you will support the community, because the moment you shift your community. So this is how I want to, fall into my mission of creating a world that works for everyone. It's science, really. It's if you get the combination right, there's doesn't matter how old you are, how rich, poor, sick or not, whatever, you get that, right? So remember, I promised you, what is that one thing that can change everything? You know what? Clear the old ones. You have so much burdens. You carry so much. You cannot really move into the new world, the new future, without clearing that. And then reprogramming your dream life, whatever you desire, right? So all of this, who tell me, text in the chat box. Who wants effortless success? Who wants joyful living? Really take action and declare yourself, your intention, say yes. Typing box, chat box, say yes. Okay? This is the true thing, right? Impossible or impossible is just really one little difference. So I'm going to break you the sad news over here, okay? If you don't take care of the subconscious, clear all of that, you know what happens? You can be the best in sales and marketing. You get all the training, all the strategies, etc., and then be the best in negotiations, in the real estate, or even running your business. But you know what? Sadly, if your subconscious belief system principle is not set for high, you can still be blocked from having the money you want and true happiness in life and living your purpose. Really, this is serious stuff. Remember our lottery winners? Even by chance you get a lot of money, you will somehow manage to lose it. Remember also my story as well? It just doesn't matter the circumstances. So all the negative beliefs are ingrained in us, right? That's our programming at the beginning when we come into this world. But the good news, you can clear that and then reset your blueprint. And then literally you can create your natural and automatic success. So it's all your choice now. Can you see how incredibly powerful this is? Right? You can reprogram your subconscious mind. So this is what I've been doing, right? My passion. And, you change your blueprint from subconscious level. This is, it's forever, right? It's permanent. It's not something like all the other approaches, which I tried at the beginning. Remember, it was just like, frustrating. But you take care of this, it's once for all. So I want you to imagine, okay, feel that your desires now become the source of your habits. Whatever you desire, that's driving you. How cool is that? What kind of life is that? Like that, right? So remember at the beginning I shared with you about this free gift, right? I'm really promising you. And I want to, Abby, can you please put that schedule link in the chat box so everybody can access that. So one condition though, okay? What I want to offer is that because I honor you on this journey, so I want you to honor me in terms of this hour that we're going to spend. So I have a application form, right, in the schedule link. Before you schedule the session with me, I want you to fill out the application form as detailed as possible. Because by you doing that, you are literally helping me to best serve you. Okay, so please do that without you filling the application form, so it won't work, right? So thank you so much, and I really truly appreciate this time with you, and then also sharing what I know. Okay, so here's my contact details. You feel free to connect with me. Of course, there are also other ways I just want to quickly share with you. If you don't, either you do anything with me or not, having this awareness is huge, right? The power is all within you. And what you need to do is you'll take care of your subconscious mind, clear it, and then reprogram, right? These are the steps. So you just need to find the person you can trust, right? Find the people, whoever you know you can trust, and to do this for you. Follow these steps. This is literally the right steps. And there's so many people from broke to billionaire, from homeless to billionaire. This is also something that we are helping as well, right? It's all in the mind. Everything's all in the mind. So there are some other approaches which I'll share later on during the Q&A in terms of you can do to help yourself clear your subconscious mind. So, and I really appreciate you, and I honor you, I acknowledge you. Thank you so much. Thank
Great.
you.
Yeah, so that's great, Zing. Really good insights you have given, and I believe the attendees and the listeners will really, take advantage of the inputs which you have given. And now, like our next speaker is Mr. Sandeep Nath. But before going to Sandeep's session, I would like some inputs from both the panelists, like whatever we have discussed just now. So if you guys can, put on your camera, and then we can discuss as a panel that whatever Zing has said, uh, how it is important, right, in each and everybody's life. Maybe say an entrepreneur, or maybe say an employee, employer, and all those kind of stuff. So, Ashika, what is your point of view, like out there?
I think it's really important in life, like the concept of cleaning the garden. It's an analogy that I use. That's what my mentor used with me. Like, it's really important to clean out the weeds in your mind and plant new ones. And it all goes back to the belief systems we have that are imprinted on us as a child, because our imprint stage is actually from the age of 0 to 7. So in that time, we sort of model, and whatever's happened to us and the adults around us, that's when our beliefs and values are actually formed. And sometimes as adults, we don't even realize that some of the behaviors that we do is goes back to that imprint stage of, the adults that had influence and the people that we role modeled off of. And sometimes they don't actually, I guess, align with what we want as adults. So it's really good to go through. I do a lot of timeline therapy work where we go and change those values and beliefs, and we get rid of those limiting beliefs. So for example, some people are really great entrepreneurs. They can earn money, but they have this limiting belief about money. So whenever they get really close, they end up losing it, or, making those problems that doesn't hold on and go to the next level. So definitely the mental work needs to be done to be successful, and obviously also balancing your love life and health, because it's all important. If you're just focusing on the money, then you're going to burn out in other areas. So it's really good to get a balance, and and find out what actually is really important to you as well.
Right, that's great. I totally agree with you. Because I have seen like a lot of people, they just run after the money, right? And
Yeah.
that is why, like out there in my company itself, we as Accelarize Networks, we do help a lot of founders to connect with the right investor. So obviously, I have seen that a lot of founders keep running after the investors for raising funds, but the whole idea is they don't understand, and they don't rectify their own systems and their own mind, so that they should reach to that level that where the investor should come to them and start investing to the companies. So great
Mm-hmm.
insights, Ashika. Thank you. I will get back to you. We have Mr. Sandeep Nath with us, and we will be taking his inputs. So Sandeep, over to you. I believe that you would be talking more about mental health. First of all, I would like to know about your journey, like what inspired you to start as a life and business coach, and and then we will talk about more about that, how to train your mind and how to have a good mental health out there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And let me just check if there is some problem with the video, because it seems to have frozen. The audio seems to be fine, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I guess that's about all that you will see of me in the new normal, because this is it. The mask is it. But I guess it's a temporary bandwidth issue or something of the sort. So thanks so much, Harry, for bringing me on this point. And my own journey has been that of an entrepreneur for a good part of 20 years. And during the course of this journey, I started asking some fundamental questions about the purpose of our work. Are we really solving problems, or are we creating more problems? Often, as entrepreneurs, we are not able to tell the difference, because we invent problems where we think we are inventing solutions. I'll give you an example. For a long time, I worked in the space of solar energy, And to this day, we do not, in spite of so many megawatts of solar panels installed, we do not have a sustainable mechanism of recycling the silicon that is ionized. And that would mean that could potentially have a huge landfill problem and a huge instability of silicon across the planet in the coming 10-20 years. That's not a good problem to have. And there are various other things like that. Coming to people, coming to where mental health comes in. I was consulting with organizations like Genpact, where they've got tens of thousands of young workers, in their 20s and stuff, who have often not even thought about, if they're using their full potential. If solving problems that ought not have existed, like a credit card going bust or an insurance claim and stuff like that, is what peak potential is about. And they're very, very good, talented, and they're the new generation. So that got me started on wondering what is energy, what is our purpose, what is consciousness all about, and also a search into the way Zing so beautifully phrased it, our subconscious minds and what makes us tick. And that was the journey. So, if I have your permission, shall I get into what is the new normal and what is entrepreneurship about in the new normal?
Yeah, we would like to take your inputs on that.
Perfect, because that's the conference that you have organized at Accelarize, and I think it is a wonderful and very timely subject and point to discuss, debate, and work with our audience. I would like to start by saying that 2020 was the year in which we removed the mask. You might be wondering, this guy himself is wearing the mask, and I'm wearing it because that's the new normal. Whatever anybody might say, vaccine, no vaccine, please wear your masks. But I'm going to remove my mask because that's what 2020 did to us. 2020 actually effectively removed a mask of what we have been as a society, as a human race, been camouflaging. We have been covering a very, very critical issue because of our social conditioning, and that is the issue of stress. Suddenly in 2020, so many people started getting stressed, and mental health became such an important concern that we were kind of forced to bring out the elephant in the room. Did you know that pre-COVID in 2019, PwC, who regularly does researches of this sort, had declared in a report that on a year-on-year basis, in the US alone, businesses are losing as much as $300 billion every year on account of stress and stress-related problems. That's billion with a B. That's as much as, in the Indian context, 16 ICICI banks, the entire bank, 16 of them of that size, could be gutted in a year, every year. Would the economy of India really survive? But that's what's happening. It's a hidden termite in our economies, which is not being addressed, which is being masked. And unmasking that is the role of entrepreneurs and business owners in this new normal. Unmasking that is what's started happening. And with you all here who present today, and as you continue on this decade, you've got to start finding out where these stress points are. And I've put them together in the form of what I call the body, mind, spirit, because we are basically built on the paradigm of body, mind, spirit. And I'm just going to give myself a half minute to just see if I can possibly bring the video connection back. So I'm just going to change the settings of the video and return. Because ideally, if you see the slides that I have with this, it would be great. If not, this continues to be working like a podcast. So just bear with me.
Yeah. Okay, so by the time Sandeep returns, we have a question, right? We have a question from Mr. Sandeep Ray. He's CEO and founder of My Third Angle, and he's asking how can we overcome fear in the face of adversity, right? So I would like to ask the panelists out here. I would like to go to Zing and ask her how can we overcome fear in the face of adversity, out here.
Yeah, that's a great question. So first of all, we've got to acknowledge fear is probably one of the most important and the primal instincts all human beings we have, right? So I would say it's not about getting rid of fear. It's to acknowledge, right? Fear is there, and then to acknowledge what is causing the fear, and to really just learn more about it. And there's a one thing which we call the biggest thing or the bravest thing is not about not to fear. It's actually to be with the fear and dance with the fear. So this is the kind of the challenge which we are dealing with. And for all of us, I have fear. I mean, if I don't have fear, I'll be dead. I would
Right.
probably be like jumping off the buildings and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So this is
Great.
the thing. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
would say don't worry about the fear as so much as this. I know the fear stops you, but that's what I'm saying. It's all about looking into your root cause, the childhood memories. Something happened in the past, right? Caused that specific fear. I don't know what's stopping you, right? But there must be something that's specifically stopping you. So what happens is that if you go back and find the root cause, you clear that, that's it. Your life is going to be just unstoppable. I
Right.
have helped many people with that, so I know. I can literally tell you that, yeah.
Yeah, I will take a quick bite from Ashika, and then we will get back to Sandeep sir. Ashika, what is your opinion about that? Obviously we all have fear out there in our
Mm-hmm.
life, and you being, I know, I have gone through one of your video, where you were
Yeah.
talking about life, fear, and failures, and all. And I got really inspired from your video itself. So
Thank you.
what help you, to train your mind every day, fighting fears of life.
Okay, so I believe, well, fear is a negative emotion, basically. It's a state of being. So when you know how to gain control of your mind, you can actually change the state in how you feel. So whether it's any negative emotions, whether it's anger, fear, guilt, sadness, once you understand that state, you're able to we have specific techniques that we teach our clients to overcome it, and I use that as timeline therapy. So it's important to understand that it's okay to have fear and those emotions, because things happen in life. But what is not okay is if that fear is completely irrational. So you have to actually understand whether it's rational or irrational. So, because obviously if you're starting up a new business, you're going to have fears about whether you're going to fail. There's risk, your livelihood, your family. Those are normal fears. And I guess you have to have a strategy on how to overcome those potential challenges that are going to arise, which I'll talk about in when it's my turn. But if it's irrational, then you certainly would benefit from doing some therapy work with a life coach on how to overcome those. And I mean, I do that with my clients through timeline therapy, where we deal with the negative emotions and we basically get rid of them, and then it all integrates slowly as life goes on and new challenges present itself. You have the tools to overcome it. And me personally, I get scared, but I just do it. You just have to keep just doing it. You have to have that doing mindset, basically. So, I mean, I've come along with a lot of changes. I moved across the state with no family, with my son, by myself. I chose a state where I had nobody. So, I mean, I had a lot of fears, but you have to try and think about all the positive things that you're going to gain when you're doing something. And, I take very calculated risks as well. So that's important in business as well. Yeah.
Right, very very true. I agree with you itself. And the another thing is as we are talking about the new normal, right? Let's figure out that what are the fears out there, which people are facing now these days due to this COVID situation. Because to be very frank with you, nobody was really prepared for this situation in which we are in as of now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I believe a lot of entrepreneurs has lost their, made huge losses in their business, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people has, taken out from the job due to the cost cutting and all, right? What will be your message, and what will be your message to those people, how they can prepare themselves, to start fresh in the new normal?
For myself, it's looking at the market. What is the market demanding? Who is your client? Basically, who are you serving? What purpose are you serving? You have to really understand it and how you can deliver it in this day and age. I've got a lot of friends that have businesses that have, shops and things like that where they have taken a massive hit. You have to be adaptable to change. And the problem is some of them weren't. So I've been saying to them, go online, go online. Everything is online. Nobody's allowed to step out their house. You can access the whole world online. So I think you have to be very adaptable to change and ready to and not have all your eggs in the same basket. For me currently, I have 4 businesses that I'm doing, which is a little bit of a curse sometimes because it's easy to drop the ball on one, but I don't want to put my money in all the one place. So I sort of focus on what's the most important to first, and then I've got other things, and I'm just constantly looking for new opportunities as well. So that's what I do.
Great. So I think we got Sandeep sir back on stage.
Mm-hmm.
So probably we will go with him and listen his insights, and then we will. Then I will get back to all the panelists out there to discuss more about new normal out there.
Yeah.
Sandeep sir, hello. Can you hear me?
Hear me?
Hello. Yeah.
Hello, are
Over to
you?
you. Over to you.
All
Yeah,
right.
we can listen.
So I thought I'd just make some eye contact with you guys because
Mhm.
the rest of the technology seems to have gone the way Mr. Murphy always takes it. And I really didn't know, Abhishek, you had invited Murphy to the room, but there he is, another panelist. So
Not a problem.
here we go. So we were talking about stress. We were talking about accepting that is the new normal. It is very important that we understand that there are 3 levels at which we are all structured, and that is the body, the mind, and the spirit. Now, there is stress at all of these levels, and often because we are in denial of it, because we undermine it, we don't flag it immediately when it comes about. We think of, for example, bodily stress, waking up tired. It happens. Yeah, I get tired. I get aches and pains. It's a way of life. I've been working very hard. We go into a self-pity mode. That it's hard work, it's pain, and all of that. But that kind of stuff, insomnia and palpitations, nervousness, repetitive problems in the stomach, catching a cold, a flu, sickness. Like I was telling you earlier, what PwC studied was $300 billion is being lost because of stuff like this, absenteeism. And those physical issues, they are measurable in your organizations by stuff like absenteeism and sickness. People may not even admit to a cold. They may have to, display a cough, but they just keep working at 102 temperature because they feel forced that they have to work and they have to perform more, and more so in the new normal where job security is at stake. So we are going to run these problems, which are at the inception with the aches and pains, into problems that are full blown, like heart diseases, respiratory problems, diabetes, cancers, and heart attacks. These are the top causes of death, and they all go back, trace their roots back to stress. At a mind level, we think of things with our employees, with our colleagues, as he is like that. He has an attitude of forgetting things, or he's born lonely, or we think of him that way. I mean, we haven't known the guy since he was born, but somewhere, like Zing said, in the subconscious mind, it has been planted that nobody wants me around, and so I choose to be lonely. That's an early symptom of mental stress. Lack of appreciation. That leads to a lot of loneliness. I'm working as hard as anybody else in my mind, but who's taking note? Nobody. And if nobody's taking note of that, then what am I working for? And that can drive people to depression and suicide. And you don't want that happening. Especially, you don't want it happening for people you have invested so much time with. They've been working with you for maybe tens of years, and suddenly, one fine day, you find that the guy's in hospital. Or one fine day, you find that he's so depressed that he has ruined your client relationships. How much does it cost you to build that customer delight? How much does it cost you to get the right vendors on board? And a depressed employee can change all that in seconds. And God forbid, if somebody pops it, then all the investment that you made in that person has become, it's virtually irreplaceable, and it's become something that you cannot retrieve. You've got to find somebody and then retrain them and get them back on board, especially somebody at VP level. That's very, very significant. Again, when it comes to spiritual stress, this is very interesting, because this is about where you start finding people who have symptoms of distancing themselves and getting into a state where they have no purpose left anymore. And when you get somebody in the organization, you train that person on your purpose. You train that person on how you are going to align the organization with your vision and what each person does. Their JDs, their job responsibilities, their reporting structures, all of that aligns with goals and purpose, right? So you want to keep a frictionless organization. You want to keep an organization where there's no stress, because friction causes stress. But while the organization you've designed for being less stressed, when the person's lost his purpose, the person's lost his connection with himself and with people around us, it affects everything about how the person behaves and comes across. He could start getting into substance abuse. He or she could actually engage in fraud, in embezzlement. I'll give you examples. For example, this is at this founder and CEO level, where we've had a very, very famous founder of a very huge coffee chain. I didn't want to take the name, who got into the hawala, who got into financial rackets, who got into places where it cost him his life. And why did that happen? Because he was past what he thought was successful. He'd already done what he wanted to. Just like kids who get into the IITs, they start consuming substances, drugs and stuff like that, because they've already cracked the most important exams there was to crack. I'm from one of them. I know this firsthand. And that gives a sense of spiritual deprivation and spiritual stress. And so if it's not just about the guy smoking 10 cigarettes a day, it's about what is taking him away from himself. What is he escaping, or she? That's what you as an entrepreneur, you as a business owner, you as somebody who's in charge of large teams has to invest time in figuring out. What I figured out with my studies from ancient Oriental wisdom, and I had the good fortune of learning from some of the best Vedic masters, some of the Tibetan lamas, including the Dalai Lama, and Chinese and Japanese masters, about our energy, about how we're constituted. And you know, energy, purpose, and consciousness, these things linked together to give that vitality, to give health, happiness, and harmony. And this harmony is what I call alignment. We all want to be in harmony, right? What is the harmony? The harmony is about the alignment of body, mind, and spirit. It's a state which I call absolute alignment, the AA state. And coming into the AA state is something that takes care of stress at all three levels, body, mind, and spirit. Because then you find that you are converting to a point. You know, it's like a pyramid with three vertices. The body, mind, spirit are each one of them is one of the vertices on the base, but absolute alignment is where they converge. So if you have spiritual stress, bodily stress, or mental stress, you can find a solution when you build that pyramid to the apex at alignment. So how do you come into absolute alignment? It's interesting. In fact, it's genius. If I had my slide here, you'd be seeing Einstein here. You know, not because Einstein is a genius, and Einstein did a lot of work in the field of energy, which I was just talking about. But it's because Einstein also observed something which I'm going to almost quote, maybe not verbatim. He said that you cannot solve any problem at the same level of thinking that created the problem. So, if a problem has been created at a bodily level, you need a mental level solution to work on it. Of course, you can pop in a tablet, which is coming from a chemical level, which is coming from a level that has other side effects and stuff. But, you know, you have this mind-body connection, like the subconscious connection with the conscious, and that applies to our physical conditions, like we made our hands grow, right, in the previous session. So there is a connection of the mind and the body, and it's coming from a different level. But where it's a question of mental and emotional health, where lies the solution? And that is why modern medicine, modern science is at a loss of finding a solution at another level, because there is no other level which is measurable the way science needs to measure everything. If we have a solution, it lies in ancient Oriental wisdom, because that comes from a level which is beyond body and mind, which is in the space of energy, the spirit. In Chinese they call it Qi, in Japanese they call it Ki, like Reiki, universal life force energy. In Sanskrit they call it Prana. And all of that, the cultivation of that and making that work inside you is what I call inner power. Because once you have that control over your inner power, you can change your outer reality. You can be comfortable in whatever the outer reality might be. You will find peace, which is inner peace, for example. You will find happiness, because happiness comes from the inside. You will find joy moment to moment, because you are in the vibration of absolute alignment. So how do you discover this inner power? What do you do about that? That is something that would be incredibly wonderful to explore over a one-to-one session or over a masterclass, because it's a deep subject. And I'm available on sandeepnath.com. We would do best to either discuss a complimentary session on how to enter that stage, how that would be working in your circumstances, or at sandeepnath.com/masterclass you could pop into the masterclass, a 1 hour session, 1.5 hours actually, where I take you through the fundamentals of these constructs. So we could do either of these things, and the whole objective being to tap into ancient Oriental wisdom and bring that in the modern business context. Because this modern business context, if science had the answers, then stress would not be the leading cause of death. Then $300 billion would not be going down the drain in one single country. It's the same in everyone. These termites would not be in our cupboards. They would not be eating up our employees from the inside. The mind, body, spirit connection is available to us. So far, science and medicine has reached a little bit of the mind, most of the body, but we've already 4,000 years ago reached the spirit, reached the energy, and applying that energy to your alignment is what I wish for you. So I'd love to move back to the panel and take questions on these subjects, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, that was great insight, and I believe that the audience, those who are there, and the people, those who will listen our live stream on YouTube, they will obviously gonna getting most important takeaways of their life, whatever you have given just now. I would like to ask one more question, sir. You have written a book which is on renewalism, right? If you can give us a little brief about that book, right, and where we can find it, right? So it will be really helpful.
Thanks, Abhishek. This is the book, friends. It's called Renewal, and the byline of this book is your role in fact, your unexpected role in saving the planet. You didn't know you had this role, but you do. Because your role is to control your habits. You see, everything that we do, all the actions that we do, and all the results that we get are a consequence of what we are habituated to do. And these habituations come from where our subconscious could be guiding us, right? So how is it possible that we can change habits and change ourselves? That's self-renewal, renewal at a mind, body, spirit level. How can we change our habits and change our relationships with others, with the environment and with the planet? Now, we've seen that happening during the pandemic. We've seen that we changed our habit of driving to office and started working from home. So many cars were off the road and the sky was blue again. The deers were on the streets again. The dolphins were in the water again. Right? So that is symbiotic renewal. And the third set of habits is about systemic renewal. Because by doing what we do as consumers, we can change the plastic imprint on the planet. By doing what we do as school-going kids, we can change a lot of how the schooling system works. It was forced upon us. The change was forced upon us through online schooling. But that, if it were done by design, it could have been done with a lot less stress. Right now there was stress because kids didn't have laptops, teachers didn't have the bandwidths, and nobody was prepared for it. But now that we've done about one semester of it, we are in better preparedness. And now the kids are also getting used to how they can use their time to interact more meaningfully with the other kids around their house. I've discovered that people have started knowing their neighbors now, something that never happened in years. Now we know who our neighbors are. So that is the renewal of human consciousness through simple habits that you can execute. It's available at renewalism.com. I mean, it's available all over Amazon, Barnes and Noble, everywhere. But you'll find all the links at renewalism.com. Thanks for
That's great. So I'm gonna ordering my copy today itself because I believe that it has, so many takeaways out there. So we'll get back to Ashika. We are running short of time, and as Ashika is one of the entrepreneur out there on the panel today, and she is running quite a few businesses in Australia. I would like to know, like what are the things people should do, like about mental readiness in this new normal, and how they should go about their businesses. And then we will be winding up the session for today. Yeah, over
Yeah,
to you, Ashika.
thank you. So I'll be cognizant of the time. Obviously, Jin and Sandeep have covered a lot of things as well. So basically, you asked me to think about the challenges that entrepreneurs face in the new normal, and the mental readiness and the proper channels and guidelines to follow and who you can approach. What I firstly have to say is you need to walk the walk and talk the talk. So you have to actually already believe that what you're doing is successful, that you are successful, because how you act and how you think will attract the same, as Jin was saying, with the law of attraction. So I already think I'm famous. I already think I'm successful before it's even happened. And I imagine that, and I imagine what it would be like, for someone to, for me to be successful. I do a lot of visualization work and a lot of, manifestation and things like that, as well as the practical work. So in terms of the challenges you're going to face, some of them are going to be practical challenges and some of them are going to be mental challenges. So sometimes you are, your own obstacle, basically. And what you need to consider is what is an actual challenge. Like, everyone's perception of what a challenge is different from, your daily life, and also obviously your access to resources and things like that. So when I work with clients to create rapid change, we work on 3 concepts: to understand, accept, and to create. So you have to understand exactly where your position is right now, whether it's personal or your business. You have to understand where you are and where you want to get to. And when you start thinking about those, you need to also obviously look at the roadblocks and the hurdles, and all the steps that you need to take to get to where you are and where you want to be. You also have to accept that wherever you are is okay right now. It's not a competition with other people. Don't always believe what's on social media. I really, trust me, as a life coach and as a lawyer, the things I see on social media, and then when I actually talk to people when they have legal problems or normal problems, it's not, it doesn't always align. So really don't follow the crowd. Leaders don't follow the pack. You are, to be a leader and to be an entrepreneur, you are, I guess you're like a black sheep all the time. You can't follow everybody else. You have to make your own path. And I mean, I've had a corporate job in top tier firms as a lawyer, and I've worked long hours and, lived in a really nice house. I built my dream house, and I still wasn't living my best life, I guess. And, the reason why I do my businesses, and some of them, I've ran businesses before, but some of my businesses took on, what I started out with the vision. It sort of evolved and grew as I networked, as I met people, and it sort of all came together, especially Best Life. It had a vision at the beginning, but the direction came as I networked, as I met people, as I opened my mind. And now it's sort of where I want to be. So, in terms of my Amazon and things like that I do, it's all set up, but it's all very new as well at the same time. So my businesses are at different levels, and I'm constantly learning. That's what you really need to do. You have to accept the position you are. And one of the things I teach my clients is cause and effect. When you're at cause, you're accountable for your actions and your situation. So no matter what's going on in your life, if you think of it from a cause perspective, because the only thing you can control truly is yourself. So if you think of it from, what are you doing right or wrong? What are you, what actions are you taking, rather than being at effect, which is basically blaming everything else and the situation and looking for excuses why, things aren't going right. When you're at cause, you're actively thinking about how your part in things and how, you can change things. For example, if you walk into a dark alley and you get robbed, I mean, yeah, it's the robber's fault that they robbed you, but when you're at cause, you're going to take responsibility for the fact that you knew it was a dark alley, you knew it was a dangerous situation, and you walk through it anyway. So you have to be accountable in every step and everything that you do. And in terms of mental readiness, to be successful, you have to understand, obviously, your goals and how you're going to achieve them. And in order to achieve your goals, what skills do you need? Who do you need to speak to? What do you need to learn? And you need to be ready to embrace those challenges as adventures. I don't really look at challenges as challenges. I just look at it as something that I need to find a solution to. And I think if you be resourceful, when you're resourceful, you can actually overcome anything. And I've had to be very resourceful as I face so many trying situations in my personal life. So I think how you carry yourself and the positiveness, the kindness that you display, when you really look inwards to yourself and try and think of everything as not as the cup half empty, but the cup half full. When you think positively about every situation, things start to shift. So, for example, sometimes something terrible might happen, but I still try and deal with that situation and move on with my day. And then all of these good things start flooding in. You are what you attract. So, I am an overthinker. I get stressed quite easily, but then I also like to take a chill. And I do that a lot. I have moments to myself. I chill out and I actually just think about the situation. And then I think about the positives in something. And then boom, I just start attracting and manifesting the things I want. I was going through some very serious problems in my life where, before I started my businesses and things like that. So I was often in a negative state. I had to do a lot of work on my mentalness, and my preparation to come full circle in my journey and then be able to help other people. And, now I feel like it's so much easier to attract positive things because I'm in a more positive mindset. And generally, obviously, you're going to have some practical challenges. You need to research what you're doing. And I'm going to talk about some ways to actually be successful in your business and overcome these challenges. And one of those things in terms of, the proper channels and the proper guidelines, obviously from being a legal background, whatever business you're doing, make sure you understand the regulations and the laws of the country you are trading in. And so that you don't get yourself into any trouble. And another really key thing for me was to set up your business properly. So whatever you're doing, imagine where you want to be if you're really big and successful, like your end goal, and set up your business as that so that it's set up right from the beginning. Being a lawyer, I've dealt with a lot of problems, where people have not set up the structure of their business correctly, and therefore then they limit themselves in the future. Or you don't want to be putting your house or your livelihood at risk because you have the wrong business structure. So really think about what you're doing, who you're serving, and the potential risks that business carries. That's a very practical advice. And, another thing is, they always say Facebook is always listening. And thankfully for that, that's what led me in my path because, that's how I actually met my mentors and did my training. I recently became a master. I got master certification in NLP and timeline therapy and hypnosis and things like that. So it's given me the edge to help my clients achieve anything. And I do breakthrough sessions for any problems, but I specifically also specialize in rebuilding your life after trauma and abuse and things like that. And I do focus on relationships, because one of the things I've noticed is no matter how smart you are and how great your business skills is, when your relationships are out of whack, it can really derail you. And that's what I teach people to protect themselves, so they can have the relationship goals as well as the business goals, because they're two very separate things. But you need to meet people that align with those goals, because the wrong people can really derail your progress. And I guess you need to, in terms of the business and marketing challenges, you need to be open to networking. So what I do is, if somebody invites me somewhere, I attend. I attend every event I can. I see it as a good opportunity to get dressed up and go out and have some fun with my friends. I talk to everyone, even when it's not my event. I market. I network really well. And when my friends, had a business event recently, she took me out. So I helped her with her stand and everything. But in doing that, I met so many people that were interested in what I do. And she was like, you're a little marketing magnet. And everywhere I go, I network. I talk to people. I talk about experiences. And I find that people connect with me really easily, because I've just been there and done everything. And I'm just open to talking to all different people. And I'm open to learning, because you always have to be evolving in this new normal. And, and funny things will start happening. Like, your mind, when your mind is open, you'll attract simple things. You attract, the things that you want. And simply start Googling and start talking. Talk to experts. Look at what other people are doing in your niche and how you can do it better. That's what I do. I look at what other people are doing in my niche, and I think about how I can do better, whether it's in Amazon or my coaching business or, anything. For example, in my Amazon business, I look at what products people are selling, and I think, how can I sell this same product but better? Can I package it better? Can I market it better? It's, a lot of things have been tried and done already, but it's about understanding your client. One of the challenges you're going to have with sales and leads is understand your clients and what the problem is. What is the problem that you're going to solve? And, make the bribe sexy. Make it sexy. Make them make your offer stand out, so that, they can't refuse it. Focus on your niche and consider your market and the other players in the market. I mean, when you do well researched, you're going to be more successful. And obviously, the road to success isn't going to be overnight. You're going to have some challenges, and it's very important to stay focused and not to listen to people who don't understand what you're doing, because you're going to get a lot of, especially in different cultures and things, when people don't understand it, there's resistance to it, and that negative energy is not good. So be very, very non-specific with some people. Like, for example, some of my family don't understand what my coaching business is, so it's very hard, very hard to explain to older people what I do. And, I'm doing it in steps, and, it's, I just go with my gut and my instincts. And you have to also learn how to manage people as well. With my degrees and stuff, I've done a lot of management stuff. So, and I've ran businesses before. So as your business expands, your needs are going to change, and you might have to rely on other people to help you. I like to delegate where I can, because I don't want to waste my time. My time is better served in doing what I'm trained to do, what I'm passionate about. So if I can delegate any tasks, like, for example, good marketing and video making and photography, I mean, I could do it myself to save money, but I don't have the time. So you have to understand and weigh up, your time constraints with, delegating. So that's something that people get wrong, I feel, in the beginning. quite a lot. And for all my businesses, I have different networks and different mentors, and sometimes they cross over in terms of with what I'm learning. So using particular sales funnels and things like that to attract your client. Figure out where your clients are. Where do they hang out? Do they hang out on Facebook? Do they hang out on Instagram? And, use that to your advantage, whether it's through sourcing organic leads or using various platforms. And lastly, give it time. If you're a crazy overthinker brain like myself, where, you have 1,000 thoughts a minute and you have all these great ideas, sometimes it's very easy to get distracted by all your new ideas. And one of my mentors always says, you have a cursed brain. You have a great brain, but you have a cursed brain, because what happens is, I start something and then I get a shiny, bright new idea, and then I sort of jump to that shiny idea, and then I want to start doing that new idea, but this still thing is happening. So you have to just get a book and write down your idea and just finish off the things you've already started, especially if you have an entrepreneurial mind. That is something that often happens. So it's if you would like to have a chat with me, I do breakthrough sessions. You can find me on Facebook at Best Life No Limits. PM me and I'm happy to have a chat. I do a lot of work with all different people. So thank you.
Yeah. So great insights, Ashika, I would say, and I believe the entrepreneurs will get some insights out there that what they need to do in new normal. And the basic thing which I found out here, obviously we all have seen those lower phases of lives where Zing was, I have seen Zing with sheeps, and Ashika has, gone his own problems of life. I believe Sandeep sir might be having the same story, and I'm also having the same story where I have seen all ups and downs, and now I am that strong that I actually believe in transforming positivity into the people, right? So we obviously out here we need coaches, life coaches, and business coaches out there, those who have gone through from those situations, those who can take your hand and take you to the next level out there. So this was the session all about, and I'm really excited that you people have given me time and honored our network, basically our platform, with your presence out there.
Oh,
So
it is
I
a
would
pleasure.
like to, yeah, I would like to thanks again to Zing from Dubai, and Ashika from Best Life No Limits from Australia, and Sandeep sir from my own India. So here was the session out there, and I believe you guys will enjoy it. You can stream it on the YouTube as well. And in case of any query, if you are looking to connect with Ashika, Zing, or maybe say Sandeep sir, you can contact me out here. And thanks for your time, and thanks that you guys has listen us patiently out here, right? So thank you everybody. Let me take a screenshot out here, and then we will wind up. So have a greatest smiles which we have. Yeah. Okay.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Ashika. Thanks, Sandeep
Thank
sir, once
you.
again.
Thank you, Jing, Ashika,
Yeah,
Abhishek,
Thank
and all of
you.
you here.
we
So
will meet.
will you share the YouTube link with us somewhere?
Yeah, ASAP.